Welcome. My name is Jo, and I'm going to talk to you today about the learning theory of constructivism and how it can be applied in your classroom. It's a way of learning that resonates with me because it encourages children to believe in themselves and become critical thinkers. May I ask you a question? Would you like to be anticipating the approaching school day when you can finally deliver a lesson that you've been planning? Not sure what the outcomes may be, but look forward to them anyway. Constructivism could be a key to this. It's a theory based on the idea that individuals construct their own learning. They build knowledge from active involvement and past experiences. Our own preferences and beliefs affect our teaching style. I will look at my own values around effective teaching and how they relate to constructivism. And I will also look at the benefits and limitations of a constructivist classroom. A major feature of constructivism is engaging children in their own learning. Engagement happens when the learner is involved. Students play a role in building and transforming knowledge. It's been noted by Bruning, Shaw and Norby in their book on cognitive psychology and instruction. So what does this look like in the classroom? The teacher still has to provide the fundamentals of knowledge. Once this happens and the task is known, the teacher facilitates activities that let children observe, test, make and discuss. This further supports my belief in the value of engagement for learning. Another key element of constructivism is the important role social interaction plays in learning. As Duchesne outlines, any of us who have ever been a student or a teacher knows what a social activity it is. Vygotsky also noted that when children interact with more capable peers or adults, they develop higher mental functioning. It's taken from Bruning's book. Group work and cooperative learning are great places for social interaction. Successful group work requires supervision so that no one is having a free ride. The rules of how to work in a group need to be established, such as turn-taking and respecting others. Teachers need to have the last say in the group makeup. It helps kids make good choices. Any unsupervised group progress will probably limit the success of constructivism in the classroom. So again, when working in groups and discussing ideas, this involves language, and Bruning outlines that language is one of the most important social and cognitive tools. And I love how this relates to a constructionist classroom, as I believe that when it comes to learning, social interaction is really important. In a constructivist classroom, students can express themselves and comment on others' views. We need to remember that the choice of activity for group work is important. It's better if the activity has more than one possible solution, which allows students to come up with valid different ideas. This aspect of constructivism supports my belief of mutual respect, that students and teachers must value one another's opinions. How do you make this happen in your classroom? Won't kids laugh at each other or put each other down? Yes, they may well, but the way to prevent this is to establish your classroom, as Duchesne points out, as a safe place where opinions are valued. Children have to be taught how to respond appropriately to what may seem like unlikely ideas and to give them space. In his TED talk about creativity, Stephen Hall talks about the value of giving absurd ideas respect. This is a great thing to remember as a teacher the next time you ask kids for suggestions. But regardless of your good intentions, respect in the classroom is a possible limitation of constructivism, and it can take time to develop a supportive environment. Self-regulation is another key principle of constructivism, and through this metacognition develops, which gives students an awareness of their own thought processes. Constructivism encourages this by engaging students in real-world problems, especially when their own experiences are valued, which adds meaning to their knowledge. This kind of intrinsic motivation is a wonderful thing, and I place a high value on this. Constructivism supports this through collaborative work where children work towards a goal together. Constructivist activities can be part of your classroom through inviting parents to come in and share their expertise. It doesn't matter what their occupation is, they offer a different perspective. Also, you can find your students mentors. Students in older year levels are perfect, and so too are other staff. As outlined by Bruning, social interaction helps build bridges between what children already know and new information. Another way of applying, say, constructivism lies in journal writing. Most teachers have witnessed a child sit in front of a blank sheet of paper, unable to make a start. This activity can be scaffolded by giving children a starting sentence such as, on the weekend I da da da, and then give them time to think. Students then illustrate their weekend experience. They could do a half-page detailed, colourful drawing of their weekend. Then they discuss with a peer what's happening in the drawing and in the detail. They'll listen to their classmate do the same. The final thing they do is to write their journal about their weekend. They use their picture and their explanation, their verbal exchange from exchanging with a peer. So through constructivism, what was a passive, solitary task has become an active and collaborative task. While some elements of constructivism have limitations, I think they can be overcome with teacher supervision and good planning. Constructivist lessons take a little longer to plan. Along with this, child-centred learning can lead to discussion that may not always be able to be investigated further due to time limitations. Assessment in a constructivist classroom needs to be formative. It needs to happen on the go, as described by Duchesney. This takes time and it may not fulfil particular school requirements which may need more summative assessment. The limitations of applying constructivism can be addressed through planning and adapting to suit class makeup. So what does all of this mean? Teaching in a constructivist way helps cement an individual's learning by giving it meaning through child-centred learning. Group work, collaborative learning, class guests and excursions are all ways to do this. I've outlined some of the broad principles of constructivism and also some of the benefits and limitations. My personal beliefs of engagement, respect and social interaction in learning have been related to how they can be applied in a constructivist classroom. A classroom where children feel like they can belong and they're free to explore possibilities with classmates is a good place to be, and one that can be achieved through constructivist theories. Thank you for listening.